how to feel. Hate what they're doing to the fans, but when you watch Raiders home games and you see that damn baseball infield, you can't have that. It's not set up for football. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. It's always odd, and I remember when I was a kid, man, and there were a lot of those. For obvious reasons, nobody had billions of dollars. But when I was a kid playing Little League football, not high school football, but Little League football where you had parks built in different little towns or whatever, man, you didn't have enough money in cities and little small towns to build a football, field as well as a baseball field. So 9 times out of 10, when you were in Little League, you played on a football field that also had a baseball field or a combination. And I hated that. So I can only imagine how professional athletes feel about playing on a baseball field, running on dirt and whatnot. I understand that totally. But once again, Lamont Hart, they were trying to make a deal happen. They were doing everything possible. It's not like the city didn't want the team. It's the team was greedy and got a better deal, a quicker deal, a faster deal. Like, they're going to be there for the whole next year. Why do the deal now? Why not give Oakland another opportunity? And yeah, maybe they had done this over the last couple of years, and this was the basically the cutoff point where they said either you got a barbecue or mildew. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But it seems like the history of that team and that city that you would exhaust all options. Thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
This Big Apple Bastard.
Big Apple Bastard. Good morning, brother.
Good morning, sir. There's 2 things I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Oakland Raiders, Frank Martin, and I got a few BPAs I want to throw at you.
Okay.
First thing about the Oakland Raiders. You missing the boat with this, man. I disagree with you big time.
Go ahead.
In comparison to the other owners in the NFL, the Raiders been in the wick off. You know what I'm saying? They've been sharing their stadium with the Oakland A's.
Right.
That's 81 games, right?
Right.
And you look at across the board, all the teams that been in the playoffs, been winning championship, playing football only stadium.
Right.
Football only stadiums. And they're not in the Oakland city, they wasn't going to share the A's revenue with the Raiders.
Right.
So that's 81 games right there. He can't rent that stadium out like Jerry Jones doing. So I agree with the Davis family. They're going to be able to compete. Now, they're going to be able to compete with other owners. Now, you mentioned you can't tailgate in the desert. But like somebody mentioned in the chat, I forgot who it was, they said that you only been in Las Vegas in the summertime.
Right.
Football season is in the wintertime. It's going to be a whole lot cooler.
No,
even though they
but
built the dome.
you know what, Big Apple Bastard? But even in the desert, and we're talking probably late September, October, and November, it's still going to be 90 degrees. I don't care what. It's just in August, an early part of September, you're going to be over 100 degrees, dry heat. Your ass going to be chapped up, and you don't even know it. Have you ever been out there?
Yes, sir. When I was in the Marine Corps, I went out there to the desert. Yes, sir.
Right.
And all you gotta do is get shade. Once you shade yourself from the sun,
right,
you decent. You ain't Gucci, but you decent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You decent. So it's a big move for the Raiders, man. Though they're gonna be able to compete with the Cowboys, the Patriots. You gotta understand. That's 81 more days right there. They can rent that Dorn Stadium out.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you one question before you get on with your call. You keep using the term compete. What do you mean compete? They competed. They've won Super Bowls. They competed this past year until David Carr got hurt. What do you mean by the word compete?
We talking about financially. Look at we talking about financially with the Cowboys. When you sign a free agents, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you could offer, say, Tony Romo $20 million this year, not we'll pay your signing bonus in 5 years. You know, break it down, your $20 million in 5 years. The Cowboys can pay their free agents $20 million this year. They give them that money right up front.
Yeah, but there's a salary cap, though, Big Apple Bastard. I mean, it doesn't work like that. The Cowboys just can't spend money just to spend money. They got salary caps, bro.
They got salary cap, but I'm talking about available cash. We talking about available cash to go through the extra mile. If I got $1 billion and you got $1 billion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we both going after a free agent, we got to give them something a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Because I got money, you got money. So to entice these free agents, we got to give them something more. That means all their money, instead of 5 years, they get most of their money in 2-3 years.
Yeah,
The Raiders can't do that.
I disagree with you on that, man. But before I let you go, you had something else you wanted to get into?
Yeah, I got 3 things. One, Frank Martin. He a big-time coach, and a lot of people don't know about Frank Martin. He got a black wife. So in my book, he's considered a black coach.
So
he's considered a black coach.
He's just as good as a black coach, huh?
He's as good as a black coach. And you notice, if you watch the South Carolina game, they will not show his wife. They will not show his wife and his family. He got a brown family, Doug.
Right.
He got a brown family, and they will not show that family.
What else
and
you
the
got?
last thing, Doug, I got
Wait. But before you go on, hold on a second. All right, go ahead.
Hey, don't cock your gun now, Doug. Don't cock your gun now.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, listen up, man. I got a couple of BPA nominations to these 2 dudes right here. They said Donald Trump had done more for black folks than Obama. So you got to nominate them, Doug, as a black man. You got to nominate them.
Ooh.
There was 4 of them, but I'm going to take 2 names out. I heard them on the Underground Railroad show the other night. We talking about Rough Buff. We talking about Rough Buff and Big L. They need BPA nominations for saying Trump has done more for black folks than Obama.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Big L, let me get this straight. Big L, one of the guys that listens to the show in the chat room, and Rough Buff, my folk that been listening to the Doug Stewart Show and the 2 Live Stews for 15 years, they said out of their mouths, the words came out of their mouths that Donald Trump, in like 3 months of being president or 2 months of being president, has done more for black people than President Obama did?
Yes, sir. And they need to be nominated, Doug. And as a black man, you need to nominate them, and I'm going.
I appreciate the call. Hold on a second. Let me grab a couple of no cards, man. I want some more clarity on this, man, because first of all, it's just hard for me to believe that any self-respecting black dude would say something like that. And I know Big L, kind of, sort of. I mean, he's been in the chat room listening to the show for a long time. And I definitely know Rough Buff. Like, what's the backstory on this? Like, why would you say something so asinine? Like, what do you mean by that? Like, it's something I'm obviously missing about that. Why would anybody say, especially a black person, especially a black dude, why would you say that Donald Trump has done more for black people than President Obama? You know, Donald Trump really technically hasn't done anything for black people. I guess the only thing that's been mentioned as far as Donald Trump doing for black people is the whole, executive order for HBCUs. But once again, he hadn't given any money. He stayed with the same amount of money that Obama had instituted during his term, and he's actually taken away from some of the federal programs, some of the loan programs for students to get into school. That's all that his administration has done thus far. Maybe they'll do something more down the road, but that's pretty much it. He hadn't done anything else that I know of. Enlighten me, bro. That's disappointing to say the least. As far as what Big Apple Bastards had to say about, the Cowboys being able to pay more money to free agents than the Raiders did because they have more money because Jerry Jones and Cowboy Stadium makes more money, I'm not buying that. They have a salary cap. And when you're talking about the salary cap, one team can't pay another player, a bigger bonus. And I think that's essentially what Big Apple Bastard was saying, that they have more ready funds, that they have more liquid cash to give to free agents and whatnot. That's not how it works. There's a cap on the amount of bonus money that you can give as well. Now, can the Dallas Cowboys pay more than another team? as far as bonus money to a free agent or whatever? Yeah, but that's just because they pay more anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's because they do stupid stuff anyway. For the most part, these things are kind of like slotted as far as how much a guy gets. Maybe you see an increase of a couple of percent, year in and year out because that's the way inflation works or whatever. But for the most part, every team can pay, what another team pays. That's how teams become competitive. That's why the Green Bay Packers, in one of the smallest markets, probably the smallest market in football, can still vie for Super Bowls. They don't have the money in Green Bay that the Dallas Cowboys have. But why is it that every year, seemingly, since Brett Favre's been there, that they're able to make a run for a Super Bowl? They're in the playoff conversation. They're in the conversation to win a Super Bowl. Green Bay on one end of the spectrum and the Dallas Cowboys on the other, as far as monetarily. All right? And I said this earlier. The NFL parity is supreme. It is. Unlike women's basketball and college basketball, there's no real parity. It's UConn. To a lesser degree, it's Notre Dame. It's South Carolina. It's like 4 or 5 teams, and everybody else is basically playing for second and 25th. Not in the NFL, man. I don't agree with that part of this call. Right. That's the question. That's the question that I would ask Big Apple Bastard. How is it a small market team like the Green Bay Packers can compete with the big boys, with the guys that have all the money? Having all the money in the world doesn't matter if you don't know which players to pick in the draft. Having all of the money in the world, as well as adding on top of that a salary cap, doesn't matter if in free agency you continue to get bumps. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. But good call, though, Big Apple Bastard. I'm glad I didn't have to shoot your ass off. Yeah. All right, when we get back from the break, man, we'll continue to talk about this. As a matter of fact, it'll be hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. All I'm going to do is read chat. How about that? Yeah. At some point, we'll get into some NBA talk, man. Russell Westbrook, the Cleveland Cavaliers are in the news. We got to talk about Tom Brady says he's going to play till how old? We'll get into that all today on the Doug Stewart Show. Hour number 2 coming up next. Don't go away.
Crown back. We got that fire down here, y'all don't call it contact. Give me my 16 ball, bet I'ma blaze a trap. Act a fool, huh? What you gotta say about that? We keep the club back. Where all of my thugs at? 5 finger ball Pimpin, boy. Step up, get your head cracked. Cause we real out here, and y'all fake. We get drunk down here, and y'all can't. We ride stankin' like it's marinated in candy paint. Give me some drinkin', I'm gon' blank. I hate to think Ricky G won't flip in the P. I'ma be with the hand, we can take it to the street. Let them know we ain't playing, knock them straight off of their feet. Leave them laying on the ground, I rock a baby to sleep. 7 days a week, I be head bustin', you ain't said nothing. I would stop, but somebody